Joining me today is Dennis Wager. He's the president of Rockbusters Incorporated. He is a established rock and concrete removal specialist, and he is a licensed blaster. And he's here today to talk about his work and how he keeps a positive mindset. Welcome, Dennis.
Thank you. That's really great to be here.
Yeah, so congratulations on your corporation. And I want to know, when did your interest begin in blasting?
That's a good question, actually. It's kind of evolved over the years. I started off basically doing landscaping, fencing, retaining walls, that sort of thing years and years ago. Then that just evolved into excavating, and that it evolved into demolition. And then it just kind of got more specialized in blasting and taking concrete apart. I kind of learned the knack, or the art, as maybe you want to call it, of how things come apart when you're trying to break them. And it's just been kind of, following my curiosity, but it's really been developed like over a lifetime.
Yes. Well, Dennis, did you always have a passion for like rocks? Because you do like
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? And it's just like when you first think about rocks, you think, oh, how boring is rocks, right? But then you start looking into like, oh, I can do this with rocks. I can break them, I can cut them, I can make some fancy, really beautiful things out of them. And it really starts with the problem. Like, people encounter rocks in their way if they're excavating, or they got to build a house, or whatever. It could be a tunnel job, it could be whatever it is. And it's always the problem or the project of, how do I get rid of these rocks? That's where it starts. And then from that, you can spin it into, what can I make out of this rock? And you can make very beautiful things, to go into new housing and stuff.
So you have to have a great imagination.
That's where it starts. That's what my grade 5 teacher said. I wasn't good at a lot, but I had a good imagination.
Tell me the first time, your first client, that you removed this big, gigantic rock.
Yeah, well, I think probably the first one was just doing, we do a lot of jobs in basements. So one of the first ones was a job in Whistler we did, where they had a 3-story house, but the basement floor was really useless. It just had the stairs that led up to the main floor or second floor. So our job was to go in there and take out all of the rock. So we drilled our holes. We have expanding route that we make called RockX, and we just mix the powder with water. You pour it in the holes, and it expands overnight and just cracks the rock. So the next morning, you just come in and chip out what you've cracked.
Yes, but with an imagination that you have since grade 5, right?
Yeah.
I mean, is it difficult to convince the clients to, yes, I can see it, do this and do that, like when it comes to sustainability and it comes to health and wellness, because it could turn out to be such a wonderful idea.
Yeah, I think things are evolving a lot, right? Like, you have the public really learning themselves of what is available. The technology for rock breaking is evolving a lot, over the years, and it's quite good now. And it's to the point where a lot more people are coming to the realization that they can make use of their space, right?
Yes.
And that's also, the money part too. Like, now that the real estate prices are so high, it's really not that expensive to take out the rock and make use of the unused space.
Yeah, it's like a water fountain, a gym. Yes.
Whatever you want to put in, yeah, it's all possible now.
Yes. Now, you have a background, underwater safety in the U.S. Army. You were involved in, I should say.
Worked with the U.S. Army on underwater blasting.
Yes.
They have situations where they have 7 harbors that they want to deepen for bigger ships into the harbors. And they have sea life such as manatees and dolphins and such down there, and they're just not allowed to use high explosives.
Wow.
So we have 2 different methods, or actually 3. We have hydraulic splitters, we have low explosives, and we have our expanding grout. So the low explosives, ROYX, is what they are interested in. So it doesn't give off the shock waves that are harmful or possibly kill the sea life. So that's where their interest started. So we did a lot of testing and stuff back and forth with them, and things were going really well. It looked like it was all viable, and then COVID came, so that got kind of squashed. It just kind of ran out of funding that Army officials couldn't fly, so it just kind of
Yes.
ended that project.
But it was a really good skill because you're a licensed blaster.
Right, yeah, it
And,
was. Yeah, we
and
did some
for,
good testing in underground situations to prove our product, and the results were very amazing. So
yes.
just a matter of that catching on to more and more people. And I think a lot of it is more people becoming aware of there is solutions when you can't blast with high explosives. There is alternatives and options.
And here you are. I was not going to say Ghostbusters get blast.
Yeah, yeah. Not Ghostbusters. Close.
You know what I mean?
Blockbuster.
Yeah. You know, Dennis, like, so who are your clients?
Yeah, well, our clients are people like homeowners, you know,
Yes.
if they have a rock in their front yard, like we're just doing an estimate today actually for a homeowner in White Rock that has a boulder at their front yard, they just want rid of it, to the army, to a lot of contractors, big excavation contractors are doing the deep excavations for towers and stuff. They're encountering boulders. So we'll have our guys go in and split them because a lot of times they're like the size of a Volkswagen and you can't load them into a truck. So we'll break them down smaller so that the machines can load them into trucks. And we do like luxury homes. We do a lot of high-end stuff. We do a lot of tunneling jobs. You know, we did a job in the Fraser River, 120 feet underwater. We had to break some concrete that was like all that weighs 120 feet down. We worked with a team of 20 divers. We trained them on how to use our splitters. They would dive down. They could only stay down for 20 minutes at a time and break the concrete and come back up. So yeah, and even like jobs like tunnel boring, they have these big TBMs, tunnel boring machines, and they get stuck sometimes, and they have problems. They can't get through. So we'll get involved with our equipment or our tools or our people, and kind of help do these oddball things that come up.
Yes. And I mean, you have some themes coming up like Christmas, the holidays.
Yeah, with the marketing team, we're
Yes.
just talking about doing some blasts for fun, you know, like it'd be so great to just do like a shot blowing up some pumpkins at Halloween and could blow up a Christmas tree at Christmas time, right?
Oh my.
Those kind of things, just for fun, for marketing, but just to draw attention and awareness to what's possible, you know, like when people start to really think about what they can do, it's cool. And I really enjoy helping people learn my trade and what I do.
Yes, it's specialized. It's education, right? And
is.
raising awareness. And yeah, so tell us about, you know, it takes a positive mindset. And as I said, specialized. So can you share some advice, tips? Yes.
Well, I think just my way is you fake it till you make it. It's put one foot in front of the other. I believe nobody has all the answers, and life is like all learning, right? And that's, I believe, where I got to where I am is by making mistakes, not beating myself up so much over the mistakes, and just learning from that and being curious and trying, right? You know, a lot of people are supportive and they just, you know, get on board and work together with people and build relationships and move forwards.
Yes. I mean, do you read books, positive books or resources, or you?
I watch just a lot on social media, stuff like that. I do some reading and stuff, not a lot, but most of it is just kind of working together with people. And you know, I like drawing. I draw stuff and just kind of inquire about how things work. You know.
So it's you know, talking about a balanced lifestyle, right? And you know, knowing like, you know, when nutrition comes in, how much you should be working. As an entrepreneur, we're always working.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's
I
times.
fall into that trap, to be honest. Sometimes I'll just kind of work too much, and then I just got to take a break, and I'll just go for a walk. My thing is I like to go to the beach and walk along the beach, things like that. And just take some time to unwind. And I try to eat healthy as much as I can, but sometimes you end up just kind of getting a rhythm going with work and you want to see it through, and then you can allow yourself a break. But it is important to take that break and enjoy yourself too.
Yeah. So, you know, speaking of which, you have a podcast.
I do.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, the podcast is called Rocky Road. It's been really great. It's got 21 episodes recorded now. We're on all the platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and on our website. And we've had some fantastic guests on there. We've had other blasters. We've had other people on there that are in our line of work that do rock breaking, demolition. We've had people from the UK, from,
Wow.
Australia, lots from the States, all over the place. And we've had a lot of people like celebrities on the show and people that have had challenges in their life or their career. And the good part of the show is how to break through those challenges and hurdles and find success in what we do.
Yeah, it's between a rock and a hard place.
That's it. That's the name of my book. It's coming out.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
So how did that come about, having your memoir?
Yeah, the book. Well, it all started through a friend of mine who we have in common, Deb, and it really started with her introducing me to Shelley, who was the publisher of the Pursuit 365 book, and I got involved in that, and I became a co-author. I wrote my part of the book, and that did very well. It became a bestseller very quickly,
Nice.
and in multiple countries. And then one day, Deb said, "I'm going to go down to Orlando to do a media boot camp." And I said, "Hey, that sounds like a good idea. I'm coming with you." So off we went. So that's how that started.
Yeah, and sometimes just putting yourself out there.
It was. That wasn't normal for me to just pack up and go like that, but it was a lot of fun. And I met Angel down there, and now Angel's publisher for my book that's coming out now.
Oh,
So it'll be out in
exciting.
the next few months.
So how exciting that is. I mean, talking about a positive mindset, I mean, that is therapeutic, right? Having a
really was.
podcast and writing.
Yeah, the biggest takeaway for me for the podcast has been a lot of these guys I've had on the show have been friends of mine and colleagues for many, many years. And you'll have like a half an hour conversation, or you'll have like a 10-minute conversation or phone call here and there. But to actually interview a person on the podcast, it just seems to really deepen the relationship with the person. You find out more about them, they find out more about you, and it's really been great to solidify things like that. And the same with the book. The book has really been, like you said, therapeutic. It's a way to kind of go back in time to my starting of this journey and unfold things and explain it in a way that maybe the next guy can take that and make some use of my lessons in life, right? And the good and bad that I've gone through, there's always things to learn, right?
I mean, don't stop learning. Like, here you are, you're a licensed blaster. A book's coming out, a memoir. You have a successful podcast. Did you think you would be doing all this?
Hey, I'm just getting started.
You're just getting started, so watch out for Dennis Wager.
I got big plans.
You got big plans. That's wonderful. Because I'm going to ask what's next for you.
That's it. Yeah. So what's next is we're really expanding. So our model now is we have smart cans, we call them, which are small, like 10-foot by 10-foot shipping containers that house all of our tools, drills, and things, so we can go do these jobs. The next thing is we're going to start to develop bigger equipment, like excavators with drills and such, so we can do bigger jobs. And then we're now starting to expand out into different areas. So we're now doing work in Ontario, we're doing work in New York, we're doing work in California, and we're going to get different locations set up so that we'll be at least around North America. And we're also working on some projects or maybe supplying product to jobs in other countries, such as Oman. We're working on currently. So, yeah, it's very exciting. Like, the potential is big. I never thought about it at first, but really the world is 2/3 rock, and there's always lots of building, right?
Yes. And I mean, for people who are watching and they want to follow in your footsteps, say they want to do what you do, what would you suggest?
Grab a jackhammer.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
or or walking. I mean, you have to,
Well, just to contact us,
Yes.
like we have lots of opportunity. We have training courses,
Excellent.
things, and a lot of it is mentoring young people in this industry.
Yes.
Like a lot of the generation is getting older and wanting to pass along our knowledge and experience to young people so that we, everybody can grow.
Yes.
Like now, my son is my partner in the business. Brian, he's doing very well, and he's already learned a lot of things. Like, he's out running an excavator today, and I've done the same with him. Just taught him, like, hey, just do this, try this, move this dirt over there, and practice, right?
Yes.
It's just like anything. Just do it. Just practice.
Just
keep
do it. And people want to reach out to you, where can they go?
They can go to our website, www.rockbusters.com, or they can call me at 604-690-0100.
Thank you so much, Dennis.
Yeah, that was great.